I'm a master video editor. I don't like one of the producers from Marvel saw one of our YouTube shows, and he was like, "Who made this video?" And I was like, "I did, sir," humbly. And he was like, "You're hired."
Yeah, you're hired.
Yeah, so I'm making the new Hulk. It's coming out. We'll probably get sued for that.
Welcome back to another episode of Ridgeside Canine EC Radio with Mike Swarchak and myself, Gregory Hunt.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a good intro. You had some power and energy behind it.
I'm feeling good.
We're warmed up.
I like this like evening podcasting. Not that I want to do it every time, but it feels good. I feel glowy.
Yeah. You look good.
Yeah.
I mean, the cameras will let us know, but
The lighting in here is very aesthetically pleasing.
yeah, it's easy.
All right. What are we doing today?
So I figured we do like a little behind the scenes, get more involved of like get to know you. Who is Greg Hunt?
Let's do it.
Because we talk a lot of shit.
Put the banner down here.
Yeah. Who is Greg Hunt? Graphic-y. And then I'm gonna throw in like your Instagram handle and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm a master video editor. I don't like one of the producers from Marvel saw one of our YouTube shows, and he was like, "Who made this video?" And I was like, "I did, sir," humbly. And he was like, "You're hired."
Yeah, you're hired.
Yeah, so I'm making the new Hulk. It's coming out. We'll probably get sued for that. So I've put together a list of questions, and we're just going to roll through them.
Let's do it.
All right. So give us a little bit about your background, like a 30-second version, maybe a minute, of how you got into dogs. We did this on the intro one, so if you want a little more in depth of how we got specifically into the dog game, then go back to episode 1. But this is more of like, who is Greg Hunt? Not just dogs, but give us a short version how you got in the dog game.
How I got into dogs was kind of a complete accident. I wasn't intentional about wanting to do dog stuff for the rest of my life. As a kid growing up, I had always wanted to be in the military, basically. I was in the Marine Corps for 10 years, and then I got out.
You mispronounced Air Force.
Yeah, I was in the Crayon Force. Yeah, and I really did not know I was going to do this for the rest of my life. I just accidentally fell into it, really, and happened to be really good at it. All my critical skills from the Marine Corps just kind of transposed over here, and like I would never look back. I'm stoked doing what I'm doing. And
I love it. So what's one of the dog-related experiences that has profoundly impacted your life?
Dog-related experience? So
whether you're personal dogs, training dogs, whatever, what's something that like just sticks out that's like, man, that was a life-changing moment?
So if it was a training dog, like I've had too many to really think about it and sit on it. The most profound life experience with dogs, it happened, and then years later, I learned from it, and that is my first personal dog, TJ. How I handled him in his rescued at 6 months to treating him, living with him, having him as a pet dog for a year or two. The way I did that, when I became a dog trainer, I realized how incredibly wrong I was, how incredibly stupid I was, how incredibly naive I was. I think about it every day. I look at him. Every day I break him. Every time I want to take him somewhere that I can't. Every time I want to do something with him that I can't. And every dog that comes into my care, when the owners say they have a problem, when the owners say that this is an issue, this is a headache, this is heartache, that my dog does X, Y, and Z, I 100% resonate with that. And I want to fix it every single day. And I want to fix them, like the dog, but I want to fix the owners. I want to prevent the owners from doing things that I did, or stop the owners from doing things that I did. So the biggest life-changing dog-related thing was my dog, TJ, how I took care of him, or lack of taking care of him.
Yeah.
And just being better and learning from that.
It sounds weird, but like I'm kind of excited to die. And no, I'm not like suicidal or anything crazy, but I'm excited to like be reunited with all the dogs from my past and be like, let me make up for all these wrongs that I did for you. Like even the dumb, they weren't dumb, but like when I was in, middle school, high school, like my very first Labrador, and like doing the
as
whole
you were
thing
a kid.
of, yeah, like shoving their face in pee because they had an accident. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
let me backtrack that. Like, let's
Yeah.
fix some mistakes of mine through the past.
Yeah, I take my hindsight and I try to make everybody else better and better and better.
I love it. What is the number one misconception of dogs or dog training, and how do you individually address that?
Ooh, misconception of dog training. Yikes. Misconception of dogs or dog training. I would say at the heart, dogs don't know what the hell you're talking about. Dogs aren't magical. Dogs are man's best friend, sure, but that doesn't make them magical creatures. They don't know what you want if you can't communicate it the way that they understand it. And 99% chance you aren't communicating the way they understand it because you were misled, misinterpreted, or just misinformed.
I like it. I like it. So, obviously you said you were in the Navy.
We're never going to get this right.
No, his head trauma. You were in the Marine Corps. What do you think is the one thing that the Marine Corps taught you as an individual that like seamlessly transferred into being a good dog trainer?
So,
or like one quality or whatever.
Like being able to have time management is a great thing. Being able to, plan and whatnot is good as a dog trainer or just good as a person as a whole. But I would say, honestly, the introduction to adversity and the understanding that it makes you better has just, it keeps me from crippling under pressure. It keeps me loving it and seeking it and wanting, striving, being hungry to be better and better and better. So all the stressful things that I deal with, I like just absorb that, like, some anime villain that like gets stronger with more blows that he takes. Like that's my persona. Like I get stronger with more, adverse conditions.
I like it. So dogs teach us a lot about life. Can you share a personal story where a dog taught you something unexpected or valuable?
I would say this happened to me early on as a dog trainer, and it sucks. Like I feel like I was very well equipped with it through the Marine Corps military background.
Air Force?
Yeah. And this will happen to every dog trainer. Hopefully it doesn't, but it happens to every dog trainer. I had a dog that had a health issue while in training, and it had previous like heart conditions or health conditions. And the dog had a seizure essentially in training, and it didn't come through with it. I had to apply CPR for about 15 to 20 minutes, all the things that go into it. But there was no aftermath. It wasn't a like negligent situation, lawyers, all this kind of stuff. It was a very understood situation about what happened with the dog. But my time in those 15 minutes with that dog, administering, recessive care to it, my time taking that dog to its family, my time with the family afterwards, for the weeks afterwards, as early on as a dog trainer as I was, I know a lot of people wouldn't be ready for it if they didn't have like prior experience background to take care of that. And I hope, trainers that haven't experienced it don't, but if you ever do, like it is one of the most like it really makes you realize how important the care, and again, not that it wasn't negligent, like it wasn't, but it just goes to show like you never, ever want to experience something such as a loss of a life of any animal, or any person or whatever it is. But like the amount
Thanks for clarifying that. Ashley probably feels better now.
But the amount of emotion that went into that, the amount of, communication between the clients and myself and everything, I just never want to deal with that again. I would never, like, I always take as much care as possible of all the dogs. I am as open and honest with the clients as possible. Losing a dog was the hardest thing that I've done as a dog trainer. And again, not that it was negligent. The dog had a heart issue, but, it's just one of those moments where like it affected me in a way, like PTSD is real. I couldn't see a sleeping dog for like 2 months straight. Like after that happened, like because like it had the seizure and like while it was in the kennel and it just wasn't moving in the kennel. When I like it was like labored breathing afterwards, and when I pulled it out and did the CPR and all that kind of stuff, but seeing a sleeping dog afterwards was very like after seeing everything that I saw, seeing a sleeping dog in a kennel or seeing a sleeping dog or like a dog on place. Like I would walk into a room like in a training center and see a dog not moving, or like the PTSD of a dog not moving.
Instant worst case scenario.
Yeah, like I like nerves, chills for 2 months straight. Like it was very very like eye opening and whatnot. But yeah, that was
it's tough.
Yeah.
I haven't had the dog asset of it, but I've definitely been there when family members are told like either son died in a car wreck, all that kind of stuff, and I've had to relay those messages, or like been at somebody's house when somebody died downrange, and like death sucks all the way around. Anyways, let's try and lighten the mood.
Yeah. Hey, we're being real.
Yeah, it is what it is. We've kind of touched on some of these. How do you balance the demands of running a business with the personal side of dog training?
Ooh,
and the business meaning like, how do you balance this, the store and being a dog trainer as well?
So luckily they are very closely related to each other.
A lot of overlap.
Yeah, a lot of overlap. How do I balance it? A lot of time management, a lot of, using what I have. Like if I'm doing, like, for example, if I'm doing inventory at the store, I got a dog with me on place. I got a dog attached to my hip. I'm just, kind of the same thing with a dog trainer at home. Like how do you balance home life and dog training life? You just combine them when you can. You combine them when it makes sense.
Oh, easy answer. You don't.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Don't take my advice on anything personal.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, they kind of go hand in hand, and it all works out.
All right, so let's say we have some young whippersnapper listening to this on YouTube, and in your short tenure as a entrepreneur, business owner, what would be the one piece of advice you could give them that you had to learn the hard way, but give them the advice so hopefully they don't have to learn it the hard way?
I'm going to word this. Do
you need a crayon?
No, like you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes and you have to learn from them. Like I could say, don't trust everybody or don't believe what you're told. And that's true. Like do as much research as possible. Like no matter what you're told, no matter what guidance you're given, do as much back end proofing and researching as possible. But ultimately, whether you make that mistake, whether you trust the wrong person or you do the wrong thing or you make the wrong executive decision, rebound from that like a rubber band, have resiliency, come back and be better for it. And hustle hard.
Yeah. Grind.
Get it.
No, that's a huge point. Like resiliency or like, all these stupid buzzwords that you see on Instagram and stuff, but like you have to look at every single mistake or failure, whether you open a business and it just completely tanked or you went all in on an idea and it flopped. Like it's not failure. It's not the end of the world. It's a learning lesson.
Yeah.
And you have to have the humility to sit down and look at like analytically or objectively, why did this idea fail? Was it the marketing behind it? Was it the idea sucked? Did, we just didn't convert the way we should have, and then figure out why, do an after action, hot wash it and change it for the next time.
Don't make excuses for it because that's going to cloud your after action report if you're making excuses for why things failed. Like
it's everyone else's fault. Yeah, it's never my fault.
Be as open and honest with it. Like if you want to go down that entrepreneur route, like you should have that mindset anyway. So
yeah,
get after it.
Don't be a victim. You're gonna get me started. Stupid victims. All right. So whether it's in business or in dog training, how do you stay innovative or like keep yourself with the times or like ahead of the curve?
Social media learning, YouTube, like it's out there. Like no matter what app platform it is, there's so much out there, so much content. Like in dog training, like dog training is a content based, marketing based kind of thing. Whether we're marketing with social media or we're proving our worth with social media, we're showing clients, being transparent about what we do, how we train. Social media is we use it very heavily, but there's other entrepreneurs out there that are making how-to videos on how to do this and how to that and how to be better at this and how to be better at that, like business related stuff. So like, staying on top of the times, just searching, YouTubing, watching videos. I'm always consuming content. Like if I'm multitasking 5 different things, 4 of them is like holding my iPad, holding my phone, holding a dog, not like holding a dog leash, like training the dog. But like if I have a dog on place, I have my laptop, my iPad, and my phone, and I'm researching and I'm training and I'm researching and I'm rewarding and I'm like, I have Spotify on a podcast and I have YouTube on my phone and I'm researching on the laptop. Like just consuming amount of content is just to learn and stay up on it.
So with that, like, obviously the social media space is extremely saturated for all of these things. Mm-hmm. What do you do personally to like filter through the bullshit?
I always will, if I'm researching anything, like finding a good channel, finding a good source is like the primary part of that. So, I'll look up a specific topic and I will like open in new tab the first 5 results and I go to their channel and I binge watch 3 or 4 things out of their channel. So like not just watch that one specific video. Like I'll watch a video and it gives me the answer that I was looking for something. But then, all right, cool. Here's 5 people in this space. Let me see what their other content is. And then I will like, maybe subscribe to 2 of them that I liked most of their videos on.
Speaking of subscribing, if you haven't done so yet,
click that little notification bell.
Little notification, subscribe, and hit the like button.
Yeah. Like that way, even if I don't go down a rabbit hole of their channel, at least some of their stuff will pop back up when I might need it, or like, again, if I'm breaking dogs or I'm doing whatever in the house, I'm watching or I'm cooking dinner, I'll go to my YouTube, I'll go to my subscriptions, and I'll just filter through all the recent videos and go, oh, cool. Like, I don't need to know how to do this right now, but it'd be interesting. And I'm just watching stuff as I'm cutting up onions or whatever it is.
Who's the number one person you would follow in the business space?
Business, like
entrepreneurial or like just overall business?
I feel like just to be motivated by it and to like hustle and grind and just to have somebody.
David Goggins. Who's going to carry the boats?
I was going to say Jocko,
yeah,
like the echelon front stuff. Like it's, whether you're into podcasting or you like the YouTube videos, it's just good consumable content that'll kind of light a fire under your ass if you're into that like military, hooking and jabbing mindset. I like Think Media for like, learning a computer and learning a camera kind of stuff. And then, yeah, I try to put myself in front of the camera more and more. And so I kind of just watch my own personal interest channels and kind of like, you don't want to recreate what someone else is doing. You want to be yourself. You want to be personal about it. Otherwise, like if you're trying to act like somebody else, like your viewers see right through that.
Yeah.
So like, I just kind of watch people who are like me, like who say things that I say and do things that I do, and just kind of watch their stuff and like I kind of get motivated on my own terms, but that's not like business related.
Yeah. So it's a good segue into the next question though. Like, what would be outside of business, outside of dogs? What are hobbies that you have that may surprise people? Do you like to knit? Do you do watercolors?
No. Actually, like
I collect bobblehead dolls. Even though we're going to do this interview with me, clearly I collect bobblehead dolls.
There's a few of them.
We have a guest appearance on the show. If you didn't notice,
yeah. No. So hobbies. Honestly, for a little plug out there, I guess for any other veterans that just kind of get lost sometimes. I recently joined the VFW here in I think Holly Ridge.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we've been going to the VFW maybe once or twice a week. And they have a range, so I guess that's another hobby is just kind of shooting and like self defense shooting, not really like plinking, like target shooting. But they have a range there, and then they have their little like indoor bar. And it's for me in my 30s, 10 years in the Marine Corps, been out for about 5 now. I feel like I'm in an early era of it where most people aren't, but like I encourage those. Like if you've gotten out of the military and you're in your 20s or in your 30s, like go find your VFW if you qualify, or go find your American Legion if you qualify, and like just go sit there and have a drink, Diet Coke or a beer, and just kind of soak it in. You might find something within yourself or within the crowd that like makes you feel better, because it's a good community.
Yeah, I think like getting out, you get lost, right? And like obviously I was never like in the actual military, contracting and all that kind of stuff. I was integrated. But even then, like when all of that just stopped, you lose your purpose.
Yeah.
So like it's always good to surround yourself with like-minded people, and like someone you can tell a jacked up story to, and they're gonna find the humor in it. With that, you know, if you told it to some lady at the supermarket, she'd be horrified and call the police on you.
Yeah.
But it's just good to everybody has to have their support network, and I think, you know, talking about social media, that's one of the pitfalls of everything. Is like it's like a fake support network, but like there is true value of getting out, finding like-minded people, or even just having a conversation. Just because I talked to somebody at a restaurant or whatever, and like have these kind of same kind of conversations, like, who are you? Tell me about your life story.
Yeah.
And like, it's a genuine conversation. Like connecting with people on a personal level is definitely a lost art.
Yeah, I agree.
That's cool. Now, if you could go back 20 years ago, I mean, that would put you in the womb almost.
Yeah, right.
What would be something you know now, Greg Hunt present day, if he could go back and talk to like teenage Greg Hunt, what would be the number one piece of advice you would give to him?
Invest in Apple. Invest in these companies.
Yo, that thing called Bitcoin that you thought was bullshit turned out not to be bullshit.
Yeah. No, so that would put me at 13. But I don't know. Like I'm a very much I love where I'm at. Every mistake down the road put me here kind of person. You know, like I really wouldn't want to redo. I don't want to relive a lot of stuff, but I'm glad where I'm at, and I would relive the things that I've done and been through to get back to here. You know, obviously anybody, like I'd do anything to be more successful or whatever. Like, like I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I'm on a path to do great stuff, and I enjoy it. So, you know, just probably words of encouragement: buckle down, keep grinding. You know, you'll find your way, kind of stuff. Nothing too in particular. Like, don't join the military, or don't, you know, do this or do that. Like every car I got in an accident in, like I'd redo it. Like, you know, like I didn't take anybody's life, so like I wouldn't like take back like, oh, like, yeah, I was drunk driving and I killed somebody. Like, obviously if like you had that in your past, you probably would want to take it back.
Sure.
But I haven't had any of those situations to where like I wouldn't redo everything to get to where I am.
No, it's a good point. Like, I think everybody as a whole, like that misconception that life is just supposed to be rainbows and butterflies the whole time, but that's not the shit that makes you who you are. Right. And if you use those adversities to make you stronger, like they are super duper valuable. Yeah. They can also run you into the dirt if you allow them. Yeah.
Like there are people who, you know, are less well off because life kicked them in the ass and they took that beating and never stood back up. But if you can stand back up, if you're that person, if you have that muster, like keep on fighting and don't let it keep you down.
I love it. Well, we'll wrap this one up. So now that everybody knows the ins and outs of Gregory Hunt, where can people find you?
artistcaninenc.greg for Instagram, and you can help support the store at Artist Canine Training Supplies.
Are you guys, do you got anything new coming in? Like new merchandise, new gear?
Tomorrow, Modern Icon floods an entire slat wall. We are their only...
It'll probably be way post tomorrow when this thing drops out.
Well, we are their only U.S. retailer right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, they had a few like smaller like...
Are they a U.S. based company?
Yeah, they're in South Carolina.
Oh.
They had a few like canine handler type retail locations that only sold like a vest or two, or only sold like an agitation collar. But we're trying to bring like as much of their lineup as possible
Awesome.
in that works for us, like on the pet side as well.
Yeah.
So leashes, every one of their collars, from soft collar 1 inches to 1 3/4 to 2 inch hard rigid collars to 2.5 inch, I think, leather wrap collars or something. And then
Do they
we're
make any of those collars for like dogs that go wild boar hunting? Like those
like
like
spikes?
8-inch like
No, I don't think so.
I just
yeah,
want to see one.
so we have a whole bunch coming from them, which I love, and I feel like just a bunch more restocks, a bunch more like slow growth stuff. We have 30 ruffling kennels coming in.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did you order those 2 years ago?
No, they're
Shout out to Rufflin and their high speed shipping.
no, they're getting them to us. We have their 2 colors coming in, the gray and the green, and then we have their lilac that's got pre-ordered. So the whole store is the store now. Like, we're a few cleanup things in the back room, but like Ashley has her office, and the back room is going to be showroom floor space now. So
I love it.
Store's grown.
Sweet. Well, if you're interested in training, you can find me at Ridgeside Canine, Eastern Carolina. And if you're interested in sarcasm and memes, you can get me at Mike_Swarchek with a blue check mark next to it.
Let's get it.
Love it. We'll see you next one.
Later.